I'd like to direct your attention to the screen for a short video if you don't mind.
All right. Put the dopamine in the bag. Put it in! Oh God, I hate
That video was posted 41 days ago. As you can see, it is captioned me as F.
Put it in! I ain't gonna ask twice. I can't focus on a darn thing. And I need it more than you do. I've got kids at home. Okay, sorry. Guys, today we're gonna talk about something real relatable. My ADHD dad! We are back looking at Haminations, and we are looking at his new video. The first time I've watched like a recent Haminations video in quite a long time. So this is a new video, everyone's talking about it, and it's about something that I know, I like to think I know a lot about this topic. My ADHD dad. Honestly, the likelihood of Bryson not having ADHD, considering how long it takes him to put out videos. Anyways, we'll get to that. Let's just watch it. Are you ready?
Yes! Yes! Yeah!
RobertIDK, Haminations, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, son, we're gonna fix the car together.
Okay.
Aim the flashlight right there while I tighten that bolt.
That's his dad.
You're doing a great job, buddy. And there we go. It's fixed.
Yay, we did it! I love you, Dad. Did you ever do stuff like this with your dad?
Okay, so that's his dad as a kid, right? I think that's Bryson's dad as a kid.
Hold the light straight!
I'm trying!
Hi, I'm Bryson, and this is my dad. It was his idea for me to start doing YouTube, and he's helped me so much with building the channel, encouraging me, and supporting me through life.
Wow.
He also helped raise me or whatever, and he even saved my life once. Just after moving to a new house, we all decided to take a bike ride around our neighborhood and grab some dinner at the local combination Pizza Putt and Bach Hotel. Wait, I was still new to riding a bike, and when we started going down a big hill, I started to get nervous. But my mom assured me I'd be okay.
You'll be fine, just don't brake. Don't brake. Actually, the actual bad advice, what people usually mess up is they use the front brake while going down a hill, and then they just... Yeah, so just make sure you know which brake is which.
My mom assured me I'd be okay. And adults are always right. I tentatively started going down the hill and picking up speed. My fear was immediately gone and replaced with exhilaration. This was faster than I'd ever gone, and I wasn't falling over.
Oh, I always get scared if I'm
back
going that
to my
fast.
mom. Look, Mom, I'm doing it.
Oh, no, no,
I
no,
heard
no,
my
no.
mom yell back, but I couldn't make out what she was saying. I thought she was cheering for me.
Lightpost!
Turns out she was yelling,
Slow down!
but I couldn't hear her. My bike continued to speed up. I'm going so fast, Mom. Are you proud of me? Ow! Dad, why would you...
Oh my goodness.
Oh. Turns out,
Thanks,
as I
Dad.
was busy flaunting my skills, I was going Mach 10 towards oncoming traffic.
Well, let's keep it real. It's on your parents for taking you to a hill that leads directly into traffic. It's not your fault as a child to not be paying attention and to potentially go flying into traffic. So yes, your dad saved your life, but it was from something that from a situation that he created. But if I were going that fast, I would have just fallen long before then, because as a kid, I could not handle that type of speed.
Luckily, Dad heard Mom's screams just in time and passed the quick time event to clothesline me at the last second, saving my life. My brush with
Good
death
job.
should have scared me more, but honestly, I was just
It was
like,
kinda
dang,
lit.
that was crazy. Let's go get pizza and a Baja Blast. Seeking approval had almost licked me. Luckily, I grew out of my need for external validation. Thanks for saving my life, Dad.
There you go. There you go. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. I wasn't gonna do it. I wasn't about to do it. Don't worry.
Thank God.
Thanks for saving my life, Dad. Now, the rest of this video will be dedicated to making fun of him and slandering his name. Let's get into it. From as far back as I can remember, my dad has been a Bob the Builder, I can fix it type fella. And he always tried to make fun stuff for us while growing up. He made a train table for me, a half pipe for my brothers,
Wow.
a deck for our house, a multi-level treehouse with a zip line.
A multi-level treehouse that you push the cat off of. Yeah, don't think I forgot. I didn't forget.
And installed a rope swing to the tree out front. And in most cases, he's able to fix things that aren't working. Except
Cool.
his son's attention spans. Or his own.
No.
Nobody can. But this blessing can become a curse when something stumps him. I think fixing things is so integral to his essence that once he starts fixing, he can't stop. Come on, you piece of crap!
You can do it!
Frick, dang it!
You can do
Dad,
it!
it's okay. Just calm down.
I'm completely calm!
I can see that.
I definitely inherited his hyperfixation trait.
Honestly, shout out to Dad for being a fix-it type. I don't think I'm really a fix-it type. I'm a I know what I'm good at and I know what I'm bad at type. And so if I'm not sure that I can fix something, I'm not gonna look it up. I'm gonna get someone else to do it. This is me. I know my strengths and I know my weaknesses, okay? Hey Lola, what are some of my strengths and my weaknesses?
You're really creative. Anything that you're interested in, you're always interested in it 110%. Like you will just info dump me like all the time about all of your favorite things.
That just sounds like autism.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Okay, fair. What's a weakness of mine?
You're messy.
Keep going.
Keep going.
I can take
What's
it.
another weakness? You don't have your driver's license. That's a weakness. He doesn't have his driver's license, guys.
I have my learner's permit and I had my driver's license. I live in a place where I don't need to drive, and I don't want to be on the streets with those psychopaths. Are you kidding me? Where we live, I don't want to be on the streets with those psychos. I can drive. I know how to drive. Don't say that. Okay, whatever.
Have his license. That's the #1 weakness.
Okay, thank you so much.
Definitely inherited his hyperfixation trait. Who's to say if that's good or bad? At our old house,
good.
the screen on our porch door broke off, and Dixie got used to jumping through the empty door. Dad fixed the door and even made a special hole in the screen next to the door for Dixie to walk
Nice.
through instead of the door.
He still
Yep,
busted
that's
through.
not going
They still
anywhere.
busted through. Ugh.
This is one of the only times I've seen my father just give up. He left the door without a screen after
Pick your
that.
battles.
Years later, we got a trampoline for the backyard. In all my dad's previous building shenanigans, I had been too young or aloof to help.
Oh, he
or
helped.
I couldn't hold the light good enough. But this time, I was gonna help Dad build the trampoline and prove to him that I could be handy too. This trampoline used metal leaf springs instead of normal springs.
Metal
You would
leaves?
use a special tool to bend the metal leaf to clip into the trampoline mat. I was the designated leaf spring bender, and
You got
Dad
this.
was the designated mat clipper. As we clipped
got
more
this.
and more springs, it got harder and harder to get them to connect because the mat was so stretched out. Dad
Yeah.
held out the mat, and I bent the leaf spring with all my might. I pushed and pushed as hard as I could. Then, the tool slipped off the leaf spring and slammed into Dad's head. Oh my gosh! Dad, are you okay?
It's okay. It's just pain.
And I never became a handyman.
Trampolines are a very unique thing, you know? I think trampolines, out of most recreational possessions, have the greatest range of like fun to injury that you can possibly have. On a trampoline, I'm not surprised you got injured while building it. I'm not surprised. Those things are made to either be the most fun thing ever or break your legs. And boy, do we love trampolines for that. Shout out to all the trampolines in the chat. Everybody say, let's go trampolines. Thank you. One comment right there. Leave a comment for me, big. Let's trampolines. Yeah.
I never became a handyman. Whenever my car makes a weird noise, I just call Dad and start crying. My dad isn't just good with tools, he's also eerily good with computers. I'm a little skeptical about the supernatural, but one inexplicable thing that remains true is that technology just works better when Dad is present.
Wow.
The
The
send
opposite of
email
my
button
parents.
is broken. I keep clicking it and it won't work.
You just gotta click send.
That's what I was doing. Why did it work for you?
Unbelievable.
This is such a double whammy.
This is the opposite of my parents. I swear to you, people, friends, homies, 2 days ago, I had an hour-long call with my mom trying to help her and my dad sign into Netflix. I'm not joking. It was an hour long. I could call my mom right now and get confirmation that this happened. Yeah, this is the opposite of my parents. Complete opposite. But I think my parents are probably like 15 or 20 years older than Bryson's parents. So that's expected. That's fine.
Why did it work for you?
This is such a double whammy, cause it makes you look stupid even though you were doing the exact thing that Dad did. But the computer just likes him better, I guess. I wouldn't
It
be
happens.
surprised if I learned that Dad has Fix-It Felix's magic hammer secretly on his person at all times. Apparently, all dads have pre-programmed dialogue that they say in all applicable situations. Here are some of my dad's classic phrases.
This is a certified dad classic.
I can't let an iconic meme go by that and not acknowledge it.
Classic phrases.
All right, guys, come on, let's go. Don't rotate my chair. See, the crispy part of the egg, that's what's known as a Maillard reaction. It's when food almost burns but not quite, which enhances the flavor. And
I
gives
don't know
it a
that.
Caramelized texture. Where's the remote? Where's my tools? Where's my phone? Where's my wife? Out of my way, I need to be right there. We don't need the rule book. We'll just learn as we play.
Yay.
Did you know that salt used to be used as a currency? Because it was the only way to preserve meat since they hadn't invented refrigerators.
Yes, I knew that.
Don't touch the thermostat.
Boy, stop fighting or I'm calling your father. That's it. Honey?
Kids, listen to your mother.
As you can see, my dad has quite the ability to turn a phrase. But some quotes were so powerful that they only needed to be said once to become instant classics.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, give me the phone. I'll talk to him. Brody, you need to stop peeing on your brother.
That happens.
How's your
That
son?
happens.
He's 15.
But of course, we can't forget my favorite one.
Son of a
And that's another thing I inherited from Dad.
Wow. I was not expecting that. Not on my Christian YouTube channel. Wasn't expecting that one. I have noticed in the last year, Bryson's starting to, throw a few out there. He's starting to let a few of them fly here and there. Thinking, if I just casually throw some of these words into my videos, eventually I'll say whatever I want, I guess we're having like the opposite trajectory. Because when I was young and stupid, I was less appropriate, honestly. But now I'm like, wait a minute, I'm a grown adult. I don't need to say bad words to be funny. And so I'm totally cool with like not saying bad words in my videos at this point. It's like, I can do that. But I'm seeing the trend here. I'm seeing the trend.
Inherited from Dad. NPC dialogue. The best way I can describe it is that I have little scripts in my mind, and when a situation reminds me of a story or fun fact, I always say the exact same story in the exact same way. For example, did you know that a trespasser could sue you if they got attacked on your property because the beware of dog sign implies that you know the dog is dangerous? So you're better off getting a dog on premises sign.
Did you know that on an early test run of Space Mountain, the test dummies came out without heads? The entire ride is also filled with high-power fans that blow on your face and make you feel like you're going way faster than you really are. But you never know because you're in the dark.
Did you know that if your brain hears the same information as little as 2 or 3 times, it will probably believe it, even if there's no factual evidence to back it up?
No way.
Did you know that the moon landing was fit?
Don't say it again! Did you know that in that scene in Lord of the Rings, when he kicks the helmet, I know this, Bryson, I'm beating you to it. When he kicks the helmet, he broke his toe, and that scream is real. That's a real scream from the actor breaking his toe and being in immense pain. Sorry, Bryson, I got you.
Did you know that the actor actually broke his toe right there, so the scream was real? Yes, I know! I've heard these sound bites 100 times before. Get some new material. My dad and I aren't just similar in our hyperfixation and fun fact spewing. Apparently, we also look alike. One time, we were on a plane. I was on the aisle seat, and my dad was directly across from me. The flight attendant was walking by and stopped dead in her tracks, looking back and forth between us. Are you father and son? You look exactly alike. You should enter a father-son look-alike contest. Ugh, what?
Wow.
That ugly mug? Say psych right now. Please, say it ain't so. And apparently we sound alike, too?
Personally, I don't hear it.
I hear it, I hear it. I wouldn't have said it, but I think it makes sense. But I will say, you know what? I've met both of these people, if you didn't know. Both very kind people. I recommend them as people, good people. Now that I think about it, they do look quite alike. However, Dad looks more like a dad is all I'm saying, okay? That's all I need to say, okay? Looks more like a dad than a 20-something Bryson. And yeah, I will say there have been times in previous videos where the dad character talks, and at first I'm like, oh, that's Bryson talking, right? Then I realized, oh no, that is his dad. Without seeing an actual dad saying the words, it sounds very similar to Bryson. So that's interesting. I look a lot like my dad as well. However, me and my dad, how we choose to present ourselves could not be any more different. Okay, I'm not gonna show you a picture of my dad, but I'm gonna show you a picture of someone who looks like my dad. There's my dad. That's my dad right there, you guys, except he doesn't have hair, That's also one of the few differences between us. I have hair, he doesn't. Sorry, Dad. But facially, we look very alike. And I guess there have been times when I was at my parents' place and I picked up the phone and I say, hello. Oh, hi, insert dad's name here. How's it going? This is Robert.
Oh, you sound so much like your dad.
It's happened many times, so like father, like son, as they say.
Personally, I don't hear it, but to each their own. My dad is very smart in a lot of ways. He has an engineering degree and master's degree
same
in
with my
business,
dad.
but he doesn't always apply his knowledge in the best way. One time on a road trip by the coast, Dad wanted to drive our Suburban onto the sand with all of us in it. Dad,
Good call.
no, don't do it.
Good call.
We'll get stuck on the sand. Please, no.
We're doing it! Woohoo!
We're sinking!
Don't worry, I'll just hit the gas pedal harder.
Wow, who could have predicted this? This should have been the moment where I realized that adults don't know everything.
Dad,
but
you need to be,
embarrassingly-
wait. I really hope that your dad didn't sit in the driver's seat while everyone else pushed in real life. I hope this is revisionist history. I hope that he was not the one he should have got your mom to go in there. Making his wife push the car instead of him, but he got you into this mess. If that's what happened, I don't approve. I don't approve, okay? Just because someone's a dad doesn't mean they always make the best decisions. That's all I'm saying. Honestly, I don't even think you could get away with this now. If someone sees an able-bodied dad in the driver's seat while their wife and kids are pushing the car, that's how you're gonna end up on TikTok. Honestly, you'll get roasted.
And now, an important message from RobertIDK.
Reminder, guys, I don't make any money off of my Haminations videos because they all get copyright claimed. So if you want to support my channel, you could check out some of our incredibly epic merch. Or what you can also do is just watch another series on my channel. If you like this series, you'd love The Odd Ones Out, Let Me Explain Studios. Those are two series that you would absolutely love. If you like these videos, check them out. I actually get paid when you watch those, and I would appreciate it very much.
This should have been the moment where I realized that adults don't know everything, but embarrassingly, it took me becoming one to realize that most adults are just children, but bigger, some of which have access to the nuclear launch codes. Kinda a bummer, I know. And apparently, not applying his knowledge correctly went way back to his youth. Back when my dad was in college, he had to bike to his classes in the snow. Uphill both ways, of course.
Yes.
He turned a corner and the bike slipped on a patch of ice. His laptop bag was covered in snow,
He
and
had
he
a
went back home
laptop?
to make sure nothing was broken.
Yeah, that's how I know your dad is way younger than mine. He had a laptop in college. Are you kidding me? A laptop? I can't. Your dad had a laptop? Okay.
Luckily, it was okay, just a little dented. Then he got back out on his bike, and he assumed that since he knew the ice was there, that this time he'd be able to bike over it more carefully.
Don't bike over it!
Instead of going around, he took the same path and slipped again, shattering his laptop.
Son of a...
This is ironic because my dad taught me that the definition of insanity
is doing
trying
the same thing and expecting the same result.
And expecting a different result.
Or different result.
My dad is known for picking up a new hobby, getting super into it, then dropping it entirely. Rinse and repeat. Baking sourdough.
Yeah, that's the ADHD right there. That's the ADHD right there. But that's cool, you know? Getting super into things. I mean, that's what Lola just said about me. You take over. You haven't said anything recently.
You get super into things and then you learn every single thing about it. Like, it's a whole history lesson. Not just once, but every time we talk about it.
I understand. You know, I think I'm finally realizing when I'm into something, there's certain conversations you probably avoid because you know if you engage, I will give you a history lesson. She's nodding. It's sad but true. I'll try to remember that. Not everyone is as nerdy as I am, and I need to accept that. Yeah, you don't need to know about how Helio Gracie lost his jiu-jitsu fight in the 50s against a Japanese guy with the last name Kimura, and he dislocated his arm 2 times, and he was gonna get it dislocated another time, but then his corner threw in the towel, and then they named the entire move in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Kimura after the guy Kimura who submitted him. You didn't need to know that.
Rinse and repeat. Baking sourdough, beekeeping, smoking meats, astronomy. One that stood out though was when he wanted to raise a bonsai tree. He was super excited about it, but in classic dad fashion, lost interest and the bonsai tree withered. Then he would try to get back
That's a
into
living
it
thing!
and water it and take care of it, but then forget again. This kept happening
That's a living
until
thing!
eventually the bonsai tree was clearly dead. Despite this, Dad kept living in denial and saying it would
Get
come
a
back
succulent.
to life, and insisting that giving water to a tree corpse would fix it.
Get
Dad,
a
it's time
succulent.
to let him go.
He's just a little thirsty. He'll be fine.
Eventually, Dad was forced to admit defeat and throw the tree away. No! I wanted to make him feel better.
You know what though? We've got a garden. Or we had a garden. And then it was never watered, you know? Whose responsibility was that?
Both of ours.
You never told me it was my responsibility to water the garden.
But if you loved me, you would have helped me water the garden.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's true. If you love someone, finish the projects that they start that you didn't ask them to start. Anyways, I've had a succulent for the last 2 years and it survived because you only need to water a succulent like once every 2 months.
Make it into a succulent garden.
We should, yeah, let's do that. We literally live in a desert, so yeah. Why did they make an important city in the desert? Why did they do that? Why didn't everyone? I'm sorry if this is anti-America. As a Canadian, why did your ancestors decide to make cities in the desert? Just go a little bit higher. There's no deserts up there. There's trees. You can breathe better. I really wish Los Angeles had forests. It does have forests. No, okay.
It's surrounded by a forest, and there's no trees here because they took them all down so they could build houses and buildings here. But literally, you can look outside and you'll see the mountains and the trees. You just have to drive.
That's not a real forest. Are you kidding me? That is not a real forest.
I'm a Canadian trying to tell me how California is built.
A Canadian can tell you a lot about forests, I'll say that much. All right, let's go.
But I wanted to make him feel better, so I bought him the Lego bonsai tree set as a gift. Here,
Nice.
Dad, it's a pretty bonsai tree that you can't kill. But a few months later, I came home to visit and discovered that it had fallen off his desk and broken into a million pieces.
to do it.
This bonsai tree required no soil, no water, and no maintenance. And you still couldn't handle it. How are you ever allowed to raise children? However, a hobby that has stuck with him through the ages is remote-controlled cars, trains, boats, and planes. This leads into another instance of his poor knowledge application. That being using said RC vehicles around the family dogs. You would think that after seeing this happen that he'd, I don't know, put the dogs inside or fly his RC toys somewhere else.
YOLO.
But nope. The same story has happened on pretty much every family camping trip.
YOLO.
No! Stupid dogs! No! Stupid dogs!
Do you think kids know the term YOLO at this point or no? Probably not, right? Does anyone still say YOLO? Guys, does anyone still say YOLO? Or am I dating myself severely? YOLO was the like annoying term when I was in high school. Guys, do you know what YOLO means? Let me know in the comments. You guys have a few comments to leave, by the way, if you want. I mean, if you don't leave a comment, I still appreciate you. You're awesome and you should keep watching my videos. But if you do comment, I'll read it and I want to know if you know what YOLO means.
No! Stupid dogs! No!
Stupid dogs!
Yeah.
They're the stupid ones. Yeah.
But the sad thing is, if the dogs don't destroy the RC planes, Dad definitely will. I can't count how many RC planes he's crashed.
R.I.P.
It's not even a question of if he will crash them anymore. It's when. On our most recent trip, Dad bought a big fancy plane that could take off and land in the water. He gathered us all together to watch its maiden voyage, and we all just watched sadly, anticipating the inevitable.
Wow.
No! Stupid plane! The funniest part to me is that Dad has often expressed his interest in getting his pilot's license and flying real planes. Like, dude, no one in this family is ever gonna get in a plane with you behind the wheel. You failed the simulations.
See, we're already off to a bad start. You called it the wheel. Okay.
You failed the simulations. What makes you think you'll succeed with the real
thing?
deal? Then, of course, as Dad was trying to fix the plane, the propeller started going and Bo grabbed the plane and destroyed it.
I didn't do anything.
That someone who's so good at math would stop putting RC toys and dogs in the same equation by now. Speaking of math, I definitely experienced the rite of passage of crying at the kitchen table while your dad tries to help you with your math assignment. I was never a good student, but since we moved around a lot, I had to deal with every school system we were in saying, we do math a little differently around here. So that definitely didn't help with our father-son math time.
That's not the way you're supposed to do it, Dad. They want us to do it this
I don't know that way. Why would they change math? Math is math.
Okay,
Math
Dad.
is math.
And nothing
What's that from? I've heard that. No, I don't think I've heard that. Math is math. Oh, The Incredibles 2. Okay, I have heard that, but I've literally only seen that movie once.
And nothing has ever compared to the dread I felt waking up on a Saturday, getting ready to go to a friend's house, and Dad saying,
You can go see your friends, but first you need to help me in the yard really quick. Shouldn't take long.
Okay, you got this. 12 hours later. 16 hours later.
3 days later.
3 days later.
Somewhere along the way of all Dad's projects, he slipped a disc in his back and had to walk crooked for several months while waiting for surgery. It was the only way to walk without horrendous pain. And it was genuinely hard for me to fight this intrusive thought. There, fixed. But in classic Dad fashion, he decided to live in denial about it. We were visiting my uncle and he invited us to go BMX riding on a course near their house.
Sure, that sounds fun.
Are you sure? Isn't your back in bad shape?
Nah, I got this.
Yeah, this will be fine.
This was a good idea! Although, seeing my dad's back problems was a serious wake-up call for me. I'm not gonna let life ruin my back. I'll do it myself.
Okay.
In conclusion,
this is ironic because I literally hurt my back deadlifting like 2 weeks ago. You know this. You can confirm this. Look at this. That's exactly what I did. Except I lifted the weight. I just lifted it wrong. So I still got it up, but yeah, don't be dumb like me. Sometimes you think you know everything. You think you know everything about lifting, and then somehow you make a feeble-minded mistake. Listen, I used to bodybuild when I was like in my early 20s, and then I haven't done like deadlifting in a long time. So like it was my second time deadlifting in like 3 years, you know? So I did it stupid, okay? I did it stupid, but never again, okay? I promise.
I'm grateful to my dad for encouraging me to follow my passion and helping me build my career. And then letting me use said career to make fun of him in front of millions of people online.
Yeah, about that. Me and the board of directors have discussed this blatant defamation, and we've unanimously voted to kick you out of the channel.
But you can't do this to me. I started this company. You know how much I sacrificed?
Hi, I'm Bryson, and today I've created the most entertaining and epic video you could ever imagine.
Oh,
so
yeah.
let's just get into it.
Okay, Bryson. I don't know, guys. You know, call me crazy, but something seems a little weird about Bryson right now. I don't know what it is, but just something seems a little bit different about Bryson. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Just get into it. Yeah, I'll just figure it out as I go.
Good job, Bryson. If that is your real name. I was hoping for more conversations about ADHD so we could talk about neurotransmitters and physiological neuron activation, but we can talk about planes breaking in half. We can do that too. So I will say, I think we probably have very different dads, but also very similar dads, you know? I think my dad probably would have turned out exactly like your dad if he didn't have like a military father who was like, only do engineering for the rest of your life. Don't do anything you like. I'm so sorry, Dad, but that's what happened. And then my parents let me play video games unsupervised, and now here I am. So similar but different. And hey, you guys want to know what else is similar but different and just as awesome? All of my other Haminations videos. If you haven't seen all of them, go check them out. I don't make any money off of them because they are copyright claimed. So you should watch other videos as well. They are just as funny, if not funnier than this video. I'll see you here, or here's another video I think you'll like. This is Bryson's channel. Peace.